matching hundreds.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Room here to run. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the first play of the game. 44 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
That was a third and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Mike Daniels coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
319.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. He was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated, only found the end zone one
just
time.
Once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
But still, the 200-yard mark, something he can always carry in his back pocket. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him, NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. He had the start to a season a week ago that everybody wants to have. NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Can he do it a second time?
He can. He absolutely positively can because of his skill set. When people adjust to him, he has a great ability to adjust himself and make them continue to chase him throughout the game.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short, keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down.
And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 104 yards. Now Prescott.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll give to Elliott. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it without it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down, high. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And Crosby puts it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. The give is to Elliott. Oh, a nice spin. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game planned for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. They begin the drive with Williams. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay 1st down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. First down, a run with Hyde. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Handoff comes to Hyde. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Hyde. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And Graham's got it, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And Crosby puts it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Prescott, and he finds Seals-Jones complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that's caught left side. Seals-Jones with it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott now from the 50. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hyde. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with a... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rodgers to throw. The connection made. It's Graham. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rodgers going to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And a gain there of 11 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They run again with Hyde on first. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. That's complete, right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Third and long for Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Hyde. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Here's Rodgers to throw on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out in the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired. And
that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Rodgers now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. Carry number 20 here for Hyde. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll run high, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. Crosby on now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second down, Prescott. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Prescott to throw it. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Prescott looks to throw on first. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll throw again. Preston, he finds Hearns left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's caught. Nelson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
A first down carry by Elliott. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. A second down throw for Prescott. And his throw here is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Prescott from the gun. Caught by Nelson left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game starts to open up as the game moves on.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a run with Hyde. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll give to Hyde. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A gain of 3, second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They run. Hyde. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Here's Hyde. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Down right around the 25. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They run it again with Hyde. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Third down, Carlos Hyde. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A second down throw for Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where